Welcome viewers, this is your talent hunt and it's me, Ragini, back again with another great episode where you are going to meet our new participant, and I know that you are quite excited by looking at our flyer already that who is gonna be in our show. Yes, and I would love to tell you one thing about him is that he's a very passionate singer and he loves music too much and he has lots of knowledge, so we can discuss a lot of things with him right here right now in Talent Hunt and your favorite show on ManaTV. So let's welcome Sudharchit in our show. Welcome Sudharchit. How are you?
Good, thank you.
How is everything with you?
Everything's fine.
So what is new? What is happening?
Everything's fine. I flew down from LA for an event. It was wonderful. I got to meet a lot of new people, got to learn a lot of new things.
Okay.
And I'm flying back sometime today again.
All right, okay. But it is really our pleasure that we really got you here, even though the time is so little, but you still managed to come. But I just want to ask you something, that being in this music field, but you are not only into music, right? Because you are doing something else as well. So what are the other things that you are already involved? Because from your career background, you are not a full-time musician.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not yet.
So what are you doing?
So I actually work at a software company in Santa Barbara, California.
Okay.
And right now that's what is my main source of income. I've been pursuing music along the side for a while now. I've been trying to establish myself in some way before I actually make a jump from my software career into the music career full time. But lately I've been also exploring options where you can have a full-time professional software job and also be a full-time musician at the same time. If you follow guys like Harish Sivaramakrishnan, who's worked at all sorts of places. He's worked at Google, he's worked at Freecharge, and he's in a really high position in the tech field in Bangalore, and he also happens to be the lead vocalist for one of the best bands in the country. And there's Sudharchit Sonty, and these all of these guys they've done multiple things together. They've somehow balanced it out between a day-paying job and between being a full-time musician. So if I can make that work, then I mean, if they can, so can I. But
all right, that was really wonderful. I mean, it is a really great thought, because mostly what we see is that we all want to become maybe a musician, or maybe you want to pursue another career. But this thing I really love about it, Sudharchit, because you have both of the things in mind and you really don't want to lose any one of it. So, but you know what, we're going to go far. But what song do you think that you can do for our viewers tonight?
Off the top of my head, there's this ghazal called Taza Hawa. It's by Mehdi Hassan Saab, and Hariharan sir has kind of given it a new flavor. I happened to listen to it when I was at one of his concerts in Chamala Palace, Hyderabad. Taza hawa bahar ki dil ka malal le gayi. Taza hawa bahar ki दिल का मलाल ले गई. पाए जुनू सी हल्क़े गर्दिश हाल ले गई. ताज़ा हवा बहार की दिल का मलाल ले.
So when you started music, I mean, what was your age when you started?
Learning has always been kind of an osmosis for me. My mom comes from a very musical family. She's gave her first show when she was 11.
Wow.
And she's been singing ever since. My aunt is a singer herself. My uncle plays the mridangam. and it kind of runs in my family. It's a very melodious school of music. My grandmother herself was an extremely talented artist in her day, and my mom learned from her, and I've been learning from my mom, and it's kind of been that atmosphere at home ever since I was little, and I wouldn't go as far as to say that I've been learning since I was 5 or 6 or something along those lines, but it's always been mom's teaching classes, and I'm just there listening to it. So there's a continuous influx of music into my ears all the time, and I kind of owe it to my mom for that, because not a lot of people have that tolerance to listen to songs all day. Like, you have it when you're working, maybe you have it when you're in the gym, you have it when you're driving, but I have to have it on me all the time.
Yeah.
That is one part of it. And then actually on paper, formally, I've been learning with her for about 6 years now.
Wow.
Before that, I used to hear songs, and if I used to like it, I used to pick them up, I used to sing. She is, of course, my teacher, my guru, and she's the one who corrects all my mistakes. But I never actually sat down, and there are a lot of nuances to classical music, Carnatic classical music, that I never really understood until I formally sat down and started learning with her. So that's been happening for 6 years. I've also learned under the late Pandit Vittal Rao sir. I've learned ghazals from him. He's just an absolute legend in the ghazal field. I know for sure that he's also taught songs to the likes of Hariharan.
Wow. All right. Can we just hear a few lines from you? Anything your choice.
So, because I started off with a ghazal, I'll probably...
No, we would love to hear it again, because it was really nice, and I do believe that your voice suits that very much. Please.
Thank you.
किस किस को बताएंगे जुदाई का सबब हम किस किस को बताएंगे जुदाई का सबब हम तो मुझसे खफा है तो ज़माने के लिए आओ रंजिशी सही दिल ही दुखाने के लिए आओ रंजिशी सही आप फिर से मुझे छोड़ के जाने के लिए आओ रंजिशी सही
Wow. But I really don't want you to stop. I really want you to go on and go on and go on. And I want this half hour time should we go for maybe more than 2 hours, because I really, personally, I do love good music.
Thank you so much.
And ghazal is one of my very favorite side that I really love. And okay, tell me one thing. This age, like your age people or everyone, they mostly for the Bollywood numbers or the Bollywood music. So how come you have chosen this side of the real music? What was behind that?
So I do listen to a lot of Bollywood. It's not that I don't. I do listen to a lot of Bollywood. I have a lot of film music on my playlists. But there is that moment in somebody's life where you listen to a song and then it stays with you for some reason. It doesn't have to be a really good song, or it doesn't have to be something that completely blows people's minds away, but for some reason that song stays with you. So this happened when I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old probably, and I was at home, and my mom and I, and in general, well, I don't think, I can't think of somebody who isn't, but we're all huge fans of Hariharan sir. So we happened to buy an album by Hariharan sir called Kash. It came out, I think, in 2004. I'm not sure of the timeline here, but my mom played out this song called Kash Aisa Koi Manzar Hota, and that was the first song I heard that actually was like, wow, this is completely unlike everything I've heard. I've heard film music, I've heard semi-classical, I've been hearing classical for as long as I can remember from my mom. So that was the first time I heard a ghazal, and I'm like, this is different. It feels familiar, but it feels different at the same time. And also I couldn't understand, because not from a natural Hindi speaking background, my mother tongue's Telugu, so couldn't understand the nuances of Urdu. But then I knew I had to listen to it. And that just blossomed into a widespread foray. I just completely forayed into ghazals from there. My mom has never stopped me from listening to any form of music. I mean, I know she doesn't approve when I listen to rap, but
I
but
understand.
she doesn't. She has not stopped me, and in fact, she encouraged me to listen to more and more ghazals. I started off listening to a lot of Hariharan, and for a long time I was just listening to him. But then I moved on into Jagjit Singh, into Talat Aziz, into Ghulam Ali, into the Mehdi Hasans, and the more I listened to ghazals, the more I kind of understood that there's more to songs. There's more to music. There are genres of music that I'm sure that I'm not even aware of. But the main thing about ghazals is that first and foremost, it's poetry.
Totally.
It's poetry set to a verse that's set to repeat. And the meaning of the word ghazal is conversations with your beloved. And that there itself, it instills a lot of meaning into that genre of music.
Totally.
And
Agreed.
And when I started learning from Vittal Rao sir, he started explaining some of the finer nuances of ghazals to me. A lot of meanings, a lot of, how phrases start making sense when you start looking at them from a different context. And unless you get that context, you never get that song. For example, Mehdi Hasan ji ka ghazal hai, पत्ता पत्ता बूटा बूटा हाल हमारा जाने जाने न जाने गुल ही न जाने बाग तो सारा जाने. For an outside listener, for somebody who doesn't know the nuances, this will be a song about a garden, a couple of flowers, and a tree.
Sahi baat.
And I'm like, what is this guy trying to tell me? That he's saying patta patta, he's saying leaves, he's saying boota boota, he's saying shrubs. What am I supposed to make of it? But that's not what, I'm 100% sure that's not what the lyricist meant. And I'm pretty sure that's not what Mehdi Hasan Saab meant when he sang this song. It's an evergreen song. So, I mean, you have to know that it's nuanced in the sense that the meaning is that everybody around me, everybody around the person knows that I love her and knows that my heart is pining for her, except for that one person. And he's compared everybody else to pattas and to bootas and the entire demographic to a garden, and he's made his beloved Gul, which is extremely beautiful. So those things like that those are the things that you don't get from Google. You will never, I've Googled extensively for a lot of translations for a lot of ghazals. I failed. I have to, if I don't understand, I have to rummage through, search for people, find somebody who can explain those things to me. I also had a lot of help from my friends who could explain those things for me. I had help from Lalita Kurulkar madam. She teaches Hindustani classical. She was the principal of the Hyderabad College of Music for a while, and she's helped me a lot. She's a good friend of my mom, and I had a lot of interaction with her as well, understanding some of these things. But mostly it's my mom, because she made an effort on her part to understand this genre of music
for you.
and she's most of what I know, most of my meanings. It's because I've learned them from her, and then also my father. He's not a singer, but he's an extremely good connoisseur, and he just listens to me. I mean, sometimes all you need is somebody who's not extremely music oriented listening to your song. And my father just spots out those small things like, you know what, I don't like the way you said this word, or you know what, I think you should soften your tone a little bit here.
I understand.
Those things help a lot because you know, and the biggest thing about ghazals is knowing which word to emphasize on, where you should mellow down, where you should give a full throat, and it's not as easy as people make it sound.
One request from me. This is really very close to my heart, and of course, this song has been, this ghazal has been sung by Jagjit Singh ji, and I would love to ask you if you have that in your mind. That is from the movie Earth. That is, the song goes like, "Tum itna jo muskura rahe ho." Okay.
I've heard of it,
Yeah.
but I've never made a conscious effort towards learning
I will
it.
really request you, please do listen and
I will,
learn
100%.
it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful ghazal with the meaning, the true meaning of the love and the pathos, I can say. And at the same time, it has on the screen, the meaning is a little different. And if you listen to the song just by yourself, that is a different thing. So please do listen, and I would love you to come back with us again in Talent Hunt. Maybe we can go in LA and we can be with you.
I will.
Yeah,
the next
that
time
will
if
be-
I'm here, then
that will
I'm
be
doing that
really
song for
good.
you.
Absolutely.
I will do
Sure,
it for you.
Sure. Okay. So let's move down to different genres. Like you say that your mother tongue is Telugu. So you sing Telugu songs as well?
Yes.
All right. So for our viewers in ManaTV, we do have a big crowd who understands and love, and they do want to listen from our participants few lines. All right. So can
Sure.
you just sing something for them?
Telugu?
Yes.
Definitely. This is a song from Shatamanam Bhavati. It's a film that came out maybe a year and a half ago. It's composed by, I think, Mickey J. Meyer, and it's sung by the great S.P. Balasubramaniam sir.
నిలవదే మది నిలవదే సిరి సొగసులు చూసి ఉరకదే అలె పరకదే తొలి వలపున తడిసి దేవదాసి కాళిదాసై ఎంత పొగిడినా కొంత మిగిలిపోయేంత అందం నీది నిలవదే మది నిలవదే సిరి సొగసులు చూసి ఉలకదే అరె పలకదే తొలి వలపున తడిసి అలా నువ్వు చూస్తే చాలు వెళుతూ వెళుతూ వెను తిరిగి అదోలాంటి తేనెల బాణం దిగదా ఎదలోకి నువ్వు నడిచే దారులలో పూల గంధాలే ఊపిరిగా జత నడిచే మనసు కథే హాయి రాగాల ఆమనిగా దినముగ రకముగ పెరిగిన సరదా నిను విడి మనగలదా నిలవదే మది నిలవదే సిరి సొగసులు చూసి ఉరకదే హరి పలకదే తొలి వలపున తడిసి.
I really want to know that for our viewers, or maybe, this show is very popular with the little kids who are learning and who wants to do. So I would love you to talk to them and let them know that how much practice it needs to sing like this.
First of all, I'll be really honest here. Raw vocals is extremely tough. That's my metric for judging any singer, is that how good are you when there's no music?
Yes.
How good are you when there's only some chords? How good are you when there's absolutely nothing to cover up, if at all you have any slip-ups?
Yeah.
And most of all the legendary singers, all of them, they're just that good. You can never be able to tell the difference. And I know from a fact that singers like Lata ji, singers like Hariharan Saab, they've put in 8 to 9 hours of practice every day.
Yeah.
That's every day.
Yeah.
And this happened in Mumbai. I found out that Hariharan ji stays extremely close to my sister's house. It was maybe a block or two away.
Okay.
So I walked to his apartment. I spoke to his watchman. I pleaded with him, saying, please, please, please let me meet him. And this is what the watchman tells me. This happened not too long ago. This is like 4 or 5 years ago. And I think 4 or 5 years ago, everybody knows that Hariharan sir is an absolute legend. And the watchman tells me, Saab practice kar rahe hai. And that just blew my mind. I mean, he's still practicing. And my mom still practices. I look at her, and sometimes when this happens, like my mom tells me, hey, Archit, I have a show at this auditorium, and this is the theme. I'm like, okay, good, mom. Are you doing it? I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, yeah. And then she starts practicing a month before. And I start thinking to myself, you can just walk out there, sing, and come back. Nobody's going to notice it if you make any mistakes. And my mom tells me, but you will notice it. And you have to. And the one thing I'm trying to tell you here is that it takes a lot of practice. Sustained effort is what I'd say gets these people to where they are. It's a lot of sustained effort, a lot of unidirectional sustained effort. And right now, there's a lot of technology in hand. I mean, all you need is maybe an iPad and a good pair of headphones. You can hear yourself just as clearly as you would if you were in a studio. And you can instantly make out your mistakes. Just never stop practicing. And I level with you here. Some of the kids I've heard sing over these past maybe 4 or 5 years, they're on a different level. I'm just incredibly happy that kids are doing such a fantastic job.
Exactly. And this is our motto that we have created this platform, Sudharchit, that we want to support like from a person like maybe you or someone who are really passionate and dedicated towards music and love music, to give them a genuine platform. That is what we wanted. That is what we wanted to create for last 1 year. That every one of you who really we see that yes, this is a talented person, we are there for you.
I'm glad that you think so.
Yes, because that is the reason. And also as a musician by myself, I would love to support another musician who is equally doing or trying to do something different. So what is your goal now, that to look at music or to look at yourself a little different way?
There is a quotation by Peter Sellers that actually really inspired me. It's very simple. It says, it touches the very core of your idealistic being, where even the world's greatest, biggest cynic, I'm paraphrasing here, but even the world's greatest cynic has hope. And that is why we listen to music.
Wow.
It's a quotation by Peter Sellers. I came across it in a show called Suits, of all the places. A show about law, and this is what I come across.
Wow.
So my goal is, put simply, just do what everybody else has done before me in a better way. And also, if I sing something, I want that to touch somebody's lives, touch somebody's hearts. And just the objective of a song, I always feel, is that you have to project what the lyricist was thinking when he wrote the song, what the composer was thinking when he set it to a particular tune, gave it a particular key, set it in a particular bar, and they have. I'm sure they have things in mind. They have things in mind. I mean, take something like Tu Hire, for example. It's just a brilliant song.
All right, can we hear 2 lines from you?
Yeah,
I
sure.
would love to.
Sure. I mean, before
Yes.
I actually do that, Rahman sir could have done it in any way, but he had a reason to choose those particular scales. It's an amalgamation of at least 3 scales that I can think of, and it's got bits of Rag Charukeshi, it got bits of Rag Jaunpuri, and he must have given it some thought, right? And then Hariharan ji, I'm not going to say how good of a job he did. I don't think I'm qualified to comment on his singing, but he just blew it out of the park. And he had a reason for singing certain lines certain ways, like for let's say
इन ऊंचे पहाड़ों से जा दे दूंगा मैं, गर तुम न आई कहीं, तुम उधर जानम उम्मीद मेरी जो तोड़ो, इधर ये जहां छोड़ू मैं, मौत और जिंदगी तेरे हाथों में दे दिया रे, तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं, तू ही रे, तू ही रे, तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं, आजा रे, आजा रे, यूं ही तड़पाना तू मुझको.
दिल से सिर्फ one word for you. We want you to go beyond and beyond and beyond.
Thank you so
your
much.
wishes.
I'm extremely grateful
yes,
for the opportunity.
And we would love to just to say this for our entire team, because I'm presenting the whole talent hunt team right now, because a lot of people, they work in the background that people never know. I really want to really thank all of them to create such a great platform in ManaTV, where we are like bringing the personalities like you, and of course thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. I wouldn't go that far ahead and call myself a personality, but one thing I'd like to say is that just focus on the finer nuances of music. Look beyond whatever genre you're listening to. Look beyond, if you're listening to Bollywood, look beyond Bollywood. If you're listening to ghazals, look beyond ghazals. There's so much music out there. And thank you so much, ManaTV, for giving me this opportunity. It's been really great getting to know you guys and getting to chat with you. You're just as musically knowledgeable as I am, and it's just an amazing feeling to talk to an equal, if not somebody who's greater.
Oh no, absolutely not. Thank you so much, Sudharchit. We are just trying our best, and you know, like people outside viewers, they know by now that how madly Ragini is in love with music. You know,
It shows.
So that is the matter. And you know what, friends, tonight we have to take your leave. We'll be back again with another new face next Monday. Don't miss next Monday's Talent Hunt only on ManaTV. Namaskar and namaste.